Now, here's a question that I wonder very often about a lot of games that I used to play. It's a question that's the title of this stream. Is this game any good? I played a lot of Plants vs. Zombies in the days of my youth, and I remember it being pretty goddamn good. But my memory's not always the most reliable thing in the world, so I decided to play some. Now, if the game looks a little crunchy, it is because this game has two options for resolution, and I will show them to you now. And it is actually a binary tick box. You can have full screen or not. I am playing on the Steam Game of the Year edition, which appears to have some additions from when I first played the game through PopCap's services. I am going to check on the achievement screen for a very specific Easter egg that I remember being here. Yep, there he is. Our guy. Yep. I don't remember Chuzzle actually originally being down here. Maybe I just don't remember very well. This is what I remember. I remember it being a lot harder to get down here when you were scrolling down to see the skeleton of poor Bjorn. Just some pipes. Yeah, there definitely wasn't a Zuma reference down here the last time that I was here. And yeah, okay. So, not only does the Plants vs. Zombies Game of the Year Steam Edition still have that particular Easter egg, they have expanded the Easter egg with more references to other properties that PopCap makes. Oh boy. A personal limited revocable non-transferable license. Excellent, sure. Yeah. Excellent. You know what? The thing that this game really needed was a character creator. I genuinely believe this to be true. Alright. Gotta have that. Gotta have hair that'll disappoint the parents. That's always a must in games like this. If your video game characters don't have hair that you wouldn't wear in real life, what's the point, you know? I don't like facial hair in video games, though, but that's just me personally. It's a pain in the ass to grow facial hair for me. I have to eat a bunch of ferrofluid and start extruding iron filings out of my face. It's really gross. Tidbits. Descriptive? Oh. Yeah. Heck yeah. Hang on. Wait a minute. Yeah, alright. And they will let me wear a clown outfit. Even though it doesn't appear... That's really upsetting. The clown outfit does not appear on the main avatar. How... Well, I'll be frank with you, PopCap. How fucking trash. I mean, I am a dog, so I think it does have to be a collar of some kind. I guess the spiked collar will do. Problem with hats, I feel like hats... Every character creator has a problem where the hats have to be placed in a very specific place. Because if you place them immediately after the hair, you know, you might end up basing the entire character around the hat, and that's no good. But if you make the entire character around the hat, you know, that's one downside. But the other downside is if you put the hat at the very end, you might find an absolutely excellent hat at the very end that kind of shakes the whole character up, and you have to go back and redesign them around the hat, but in a non-derogatory way. And I think that can be pretty difficult, you know? Excellent. my Zombatar is somewhere inside of my brain now because I saved that to my desktop. Alright, let's get going with the gosh damn gameplay already. I always remember seeing these intros and absolutely hating how weirdly and erratically all of the plants were placed by, like, I guess the demo AI. As a kid, I always assumed it was, like, evil robots that were making those bad decisions, unironically. Either the programmers of the game were playing the game, like, as I was watching it, or an evil robot was deciding to play the game bad to make me angry. Now, I know if you are a gamer, you can figure out, like, the exact number of Ps required to kill a zombie. It doesn't vary all that much. I'm not that smart. We're not going to be playing this game that way. I'm going to be building nice symmetrical patterns as best I can. And if anyone has a problem with my placements or how I play Plants vs. Zombies, they can see themselves out of the stream. There are a few things that I will ban over. Plants vs. Zombies is one of them. Alright, and that is the backbone of our army in every sense. I don't use any of those gimmicky sunflowers that you get in Plants vs. Zombies 2 and 3. I don't even know what the fuck's going on in Garden Warfare, man. I stopped playing 2 because 2 wanted me to pay microtransactions. I don't have money. You know, the Space Empire that I'm a part of collapsed. Their money's not worth anything anymore. I can't buy Fortnite V-Bucks cards anymore. Now, it's strange. I remember being able to press keyboard hotkeys in order to pick the seed packets in this game. But I guess that is not actually a feature of the game Plants vs. Zombies. That appears to be something I have invented whole cloth in my mind. It's strange. My first tower defense game was not actually Plants vs. Zombies. I know quite a few people whose first tower defense game was Plants vs. Zombies. My first tower defense game was actually a Big Fish Games game called Garden Defense, where you were playing as the associate of the local hapless tinker who made their lawn gnomes, like, shoot guns and stuff in order to kill pests. And by the end of the game, it actually got remarkably serious because it turned out like the local pest problem had evolved into a full-on semi-sapient hive mind that was trying to, like, destroy the last rare flower in that particular stretch of forest because, I don't know, they were evil. And I don't remember the drum line in the original soundtrack of this game. Maybe my headphones were just never high quality enough to actually... Huh. That drum fill at the start of the wave was good. It kind of threw me off of my subject. But yeah, by the end of that particular game, it had gotten really serious, and there was a giant spiral in towards a flower at the very center. In just the middle of a completely blasted wasteland. It was actually kind of unnerving. At least I remember it being unnerving. Maybe if I went back and played it now, it would not be unnerving. Because I also remember being mildly scared of the idea of Plants vs. Zombies when I was, what a youthful pup. I my first exposure to zombies was Adventure Quest zombies, so I just assumed that all zombies could regenerate, and that scared me. Because there was a weird niche of zombies for a little bit where everyone thought they regenerated, or like there were some people who said they regenerated over time, unless you destroyed the head, or even destroying the head didn't actually do anything, and zombies just kind of regenerated over time, and that was just what they did. And it's strange, because I know most people would say, oh, well, you're just thinking of the regenerators from Resident Evil 4 or something like that. But I'm not, because I remember distinctly, like, fighting zombies in Adventure Quest, and they would regenerate with a little red text number, I think. Or like, I remember they would have a little text particle effect where they would get their health back with regeneration. And it always made me so mad. I also remember when I was a youngin', I played just dozens upon dozens of hours of Plants vs. Zombies, on my iPod Touch, actually, because that was one of the few games I could afford, and one of the few games that I had. And I remember I would always get really upset when these cone guys would show up, because I could never actually tell when they were set to have the cone knocked off their head. And I didn't do the smart thing, which was continually plant defenses up until, you know, as far forward as I could. I, for some reason, would only plant, like, a couple of symmetrical rows of plants. And I would only use really bad plants, even when I got to the late game. So, like, bucket zombies were a genuine source of anxiety for me, as I watched the cone and bucket zombies just, you know, hoping that their headpiece would actually pop off and they'd die. It's really unsettling seeing that zombie avatar. I don't think that was even my zombatar, because it didn't have a jester hat on. That was a weird beret. I'm pretty sure I put a jester hat on mine. You know, I just realized something. Didn't the tutorial for this game used to be delivered by an NPC? The game just not give me a tutorial? Or was the only tutorial they gave me just... I don't remember this game's tutorial being that short. Now I'm just confused. I also remember wondering as a kid why anyone would divide their lawn into a checkerboard pattern like this, but apparently that's not something entirely unheard of to do, which I think is really ridiculous. It seems like a lot of effort, basically no returns. Like, if you have a nice lawn, and if you're at a location to do business, and they have an okay lawn, you know, it's a green lawn, you know, maybe a couple weeds here and there, like one or two dandelions at most in 100 feet of space, you know. Is that really gonna bother you enough that you take your business elsewhere? Or that you get on to bad terms with the company in question? It seems a little pedantic to me to demand the sort of work that would go into striping a lawn. So I don't really buy that it's an aesthetic thing people would request, you know? Now we get to the scary part where Yeah, no, I had to place the safety walnut because I don't trust my pea shooters to kill that zombie in time. I always felt a little bit bad for the walnuts because the walnuts in this game are one of the weird instances of, like, kind of surprisingly dark humor that I remember bothering me quite a lot as a kid. Because as the walnuts get eaten by zombies, they gradually go, like, glaze-eyed as the zombies devour whatever passes for a nut's central nervous system. And then eventually their entire face just goes away as they're eaten entirely. I will also quite literally never forget this daytime theme because so many of the hours that I put into this game, you know, I talked about playing hundreds, if not thousands of hours of this game as a child, and that's not an exaggeration. But a lot of those hours were spent specifically on the daytime levels because I was trying to make enough money just by the money that I got from end-of-level sunflower drops to buy all of the later on shop seeds that open up. And I remember that took a really long time because you're not supposed to do that. There's a specific plant that you can plant that gives you money over time, and you're supposed to do that to actually grind out the money for the more expensive stuff. But I, as a child, was one of those people who was like, oh, mana potions? Those don't help me kill the enemy. Why would I ever buy those? The shovel. I've always been of the opinion that if I had to have an improvised zombie weapon, I'd want a shovel. Ah! Where were you? I thought you were supposed to be the tutorial NPC. I could have swore you gave me the tutorial back in the day. Maybe that was just on mobile. Hey, Crazy Dave. I will just call you Crazy Dave. Oh, yeah? Okay. That sounds like you're trying to get me to get killed by zombies, but okay. Yeah. Yeah, Rob will roll. I hope this game doesn't require intense APM. I am using quite a, gunky optical mouse, we'll say. Ah, yes, bowling. I got scarlet fever once after I licked the bowling shoe. Now you may be wondering, how does a robot get sick? Well, if I culture enough of a bacteria inside of my jelly, I actually start to simulate sickness as punishment for doing something stupid. I will, Crazy Dave. I'll bowl you a winner, alright. So yeah, something they do that I think is very nice to sort of break up the monotony of the game is, they add a bowling minigame. So the mechanics are pretty easy. Basically, you have two types of walnuts. I think you maybe get more over time. I don't remember entirely, because again, it's been a while. One walnut hitting a zombie kills it or knocks off the headgear it has. Explosive walnuts are, like the name would imply, explosive, and they have AoEs. I think they instantly kill buckethead zombies, but I don't want to waste them, so I'm not going to. Or not buckethead zombies, but conehead zombies. They're all a tank-type zombie, you know. I, again, don't remember, like, there is a shocking amount of incredibly competent drumline in a lot of the tracks that I just don't remember being there from when I was was younger. It's kind of weirding me out. And I'm wondering if it was maybe my headphones were just too low quality, because I was playing this back in an era where the standard headphone to give to a youngin' was a 92 kilobyte dollar store trash fire, because we didn't have very much money. They didn't give the scientists in charge of me very much in the way of discretional funds, and they spent most of it on alcohol. Not to drink. They needed fuel alcohol. It was a whole thing. The scientists in charge of me were building Molotovs for... It's not important. Anyway, the last seed we just picked up was a potato mine. The potato mines are helpful because there are some zombies that can sprint, and that's a real pain.
The zombies are coming.
Potato mines take a second to arm, and then after that second, they blow up the next thing to step on it, much like the cherry bomb, which I will probably never use because I'm not a fan of the cherry bombs. I probably honestly won't even use the potato mines all that much. But the potato mines, if they are arming, the zombies will just chew through them. So, not great. You can't drop them like the cherry bomb, which is why they cost a lot less. What you can do, however, is what I'm going to try and do, which is... Well, I immediately messed it up by placing the walnut too close to my plants. That's what I get for not simulating math class properly when I was younger. So that guy up there is a little bit obnoxious. He is a pole vaulter. The great thing about the pole vaulters is that they jump over the first plant they encounter. And by great, I mean annoying. It's very annoying. And just as I say I'm not going to use the cherry bombs, I have to because of that jackass. I tell you, I'm making a real pig's ear of this level already. I don't even have my pea shooter line all the way up. Thanks, Potato Mine. You're a real one, buddy. The good thing about the pole vaulter zombies is they aren't picky. They will also jump over arming potato mines. So if your other seeds, like your walnuts, are on cooldown, you can also just kind of slap one of those down. I, again, do not like using cherry bombs because they take up a lot of sun, and I would rather just honestly sacrifice other plants to slow the zombies down. This might make me fucked up and evil, but I'm the gardener here, not you. So get over it. Anyway, for those of you curious about the title, that was not meant to be a dunk on Plants vs. Zombies. I believe Plants vs. Zombies is a very good series of games. If you can ignore the microtransactions and the third-person shooters that I haven't played and don't care about. It's mostly just an excuse to play old games that I remember fondly, but I'm not 100% sure if we're actually good. Because sometimes you play an old game, and an old game that you thought was cool actually turns out to be incredibly cringe. Because it'll be transphobic or homophobic, or there'll be some weird, like, Reagan-era politics in it. Like, you ever get that when you're playing a game, and you just talk to an NPC, and out of nowhere the NPC just drops a super busted opinion that you're pretty sure they were paid by the CIA, like, the developers were paid by the CIA to put in the game? Like, you know, you're playing Final Fantasy XIV, you go talk to one of the resident Catboys, and he tells you about how there's WMDs in Iraq for sure. And it's like, whoa, buddy, I'm just trying to figure out where I can get a steel materia so that I can get some rare materials from the local Marlboro. I don't know about any of that stuff, man. Or, you know, you go to one of the local Moogles and they tell you that, you know, if your final exam doesn't work out so good, you should consider joining the military. They hear it's real enriching for young Lalafell like you. All those stories about deaths are completely ridiculous and unfounded. Oh, I didn't do that. I did a bad job. That's dead. Yep. That's a dead frost shooter because of my arrogance. I trusted him too much. I'm always uncomfortable with the idea of replacing plants in this game, which I think is part of my problem. Like, I'm not willing to just dig up a pea shooter and replace it with a frost shooter. I do, however, need to get rid of that pea shooter for symmetry's sake. Maybe I'm not as good at Plants vs. Zombies as I remember. Well, that wasn't a great stall tactic, all in all. Probably not gonna go so well. Yep. Oh no. Yep, you gotta go, bud. You know, here I go, talking all about how I'm not gonna use cherry bombs, and then I just sit here, look you silent dead in the eye, and use a cherry bomb. That's some really cringe behavior, and I'm sorry, everyone. I'm really glad that I'm over the sort of brain problem I had as a kid where I couldn't play this game without making my plants symmetrical, because otherwise I would have just wasted time and sun energy digging up and swapping these two pea shooters to make them... Oh, thank God. Alright. Anyway, what was I saying about symmetry and how I used to be really bad and cringe about making my garden symmetrical in this game? To the point that I would make objectively bad plays in order to maintain symmetry. sure this is probably mathematically inefficient or some garbage like that. I'm sure I could reduce these pea shooters down to, I don't know, a walnut and a snow pea and get better DPS out of it. I know it seems like I may be weirdly hung up on the idea of people judging me for being inefficient at Plants vs. Zombies, but that's only because I saw a Steam guide while I was looking through the Steam community for this game, where they legitimately listed the health values of each zombie, including their variants, up to the point where you could literally count with a plus or minus variance the number of Ps required to kill each specific zombie type. And it made me feel like I was somehow playing the game wrong for not knowing all of that. Like, you ever see a guide about a game that's so in-depth and insanely neurotic that you feel a little bit uncomfortable? Because you're not quite sure if you're supposed to be taking the game as seriously as the person writing the guide, or if the person writing the guide is deeply disturbed. Plants vs. Zombies actually has. Like, was it as long as I remember it was? That's the other question that I'm aiming to answer this stream. Is Plants vs. Zombies as long as I remember it being? Anyway, the Chomper I'm a big fan of, because the Chomper kind of eliminates the need to, use the potato mine for funny jokes with the pole vaulters. You can get some real fun interactions out of walnuts and chompers and the pole vaulting zombies. I also had this problem as a kid where I didn't use the frost shooters for some reason because I thought, oddly, that debuffs were not worth my time. I think, again, because I was a child and the idea that debuffs could help me deal more damage hadn't quite sunk in yet, you know? I instead wanted to use buffs, such as attack, to make the enemy's health go to 0. You know, I was the kind of person who didn't think that Swords Dance was worth using in Pokemon. Because why would I use Swords Dance when I could just attack the opponent and hope that I one-shot them instead? And the operative word there is, in fact, hope, because I was not usually successful in one-shotting my opponents. I was usually anything but successful in that endeavor. Anyway, this level, if we looked over on the right and noticed the zombies, which I did not, because I was too busy talking to myself, we would have noticed there were also Buckethead zombies in contention now. Buckethead zombies are like Conehead zombies, but they take more damage. A revolutionary and horrifying idea. Anyway, that's what the Chomper does. The nice thing about the Chomper is that you can park it right behind a walnut, and the Chompers will take care of any pole vaulters, and you won't have to do the thing that I do before I have the Chomper, which is place a potato mine behind the walnut instead. Now, hopefully... Oh, don't eat that. Yeah, okay, good. hoping that having that frost shooter there will be enough, yeah, to give the time for the chomper to chew, and that bucket zombie will be more or less taken care of. Everything's coming up roses for me. Even though I don't think there are actually roses in this game at all. Come to think of it, that's really strange. There are no roses in any of, or at least this game as far as I can remember. You can get thorns, but you don't get any specific rose bushes. If I'm wrong about that, I guess we'll see, and I'll owe you all an official apology. Quite understood the point of the flag-bearing zombie being tougher than all the other zombies. You know, with most of the rest of the special zombies in this game, I say as if it's Left 4 Dead. I understand why they're tougher because they're physically wearing armor, but the flag zombies have, I believe, an extra a couple ticks of HP for no other reason than they're carrying a flag. That one doesn't make as much sense to me, I don't think. Oh no, he's gonna... Yep, you jerk. Fine, I'll just plant another. Now with that, I have realized that, much like my plants, I have not been watered in quite a long time. So I will be right back momentarily as I get myself a beverage. I highly recommend, chat, that you do the same. Try water. Or in a pinch, a sports drink. Electrolytes are important. Now, remember, chat, whenever you get back to stream, it's really important that you eat a handful of peanut M&Ms without thinking, so that your mouth dries out, completely defeating the point of that drink of water you just took with your mouth. Alright. So now we're getting into the exciting stuff. Double pea shooters. Well, there's really not much to say. They are a pea shooter, but when they fire twice. Therefore, they do double the damage. Do you see how that math works out? There's really not much to say. Now, with every zombie game, I think it is important to sort of look at the zombie designs in the zombie game and sort of, you know, examine them, see if there's any internal consistency to them, and like if there is internal consistency there, what it is, and just sort of kind of get a feel for the zombies and how they exist within the world that they exist, and sort of then review them based on that, and how I feel about them. Now, the first thing that I'm immediately noticing about basically all the zombies in Plants vs. Zombies is that they all basically look the same, which means either many of the same guy with a tweed business suit died this week, or what I think the more likely explanation is just that turning into a zombie makes you look like that. Now, I don't know if part of that process is like your teeth loosen up and fall out, and a part of then that process secondarily is all your hair falls out. The zombies are very clearly intelligent enough to use tools. I believe in the second game, which we will have to accept as canon, given the fact that it is a game that exists, and I can think of no reason why we wouldn't accept it as canon. They are capable of time travel, of piracy, of the creation and detonation of black powder barrels as weapons. So the zombies have quite a bit on their side in terms of weaponry and power. So they're very clearly intelligent, which leads us to the question of why they want our brains. Now, I don't think I am going to be good enough at this game to avoid dying the whole time, but just in case I do, when you die in this game, there is a moment where we pan over and we see the zombies walk into your front door, or at least I remember there being a moment where we pan over and see the zombies walk into your front door, and then there's a really, like, gross, wet crunching noise, and then there's a scream, with the implication being that your homeowner has had their brain eaten by the zombies, because of course they are moaning for our brains, and they are continually walking towards our house while moaning brains and carrying a flag with a brain on it. So that begs the question, why do they need the brain? I don't know. They're zombies, they want it. They're cartoon zombies. So, clearly we're not going for any of the, internally consistent mad science zombies. None of this, zombie survival guide, Solanum virus, crap. So I guess we're just stuck with rating them as cartoon zombies. And I gotta say, as far as, like, cartoon zombies that were animated by maybe funny glowing toxic waste out of a sewer, maybe? Like looking at the standby screen before the missions. They're a pretty good design, honestly. I think PopCap, part of the reason why I remember these games so fondly is that in the end, PopCap does manage to make some pretty timeless games. I mean, most people know Chuzzle. When I talk about Chuzzle, most people know what I'm talking about. So, I think as far as it goes, like, these zombies are a solid 8.5 out of 10. I don't think they do anything particularly interesting, but also, whenever I think of a cartoon zombie, they are literally the first thing I think of. So you can't really get a higher review for a zombie design than that, huh? Like, maybe this is because you're primed to, because you're watching a Plants vs. Zombies stream. But, like, think about a cartoon zombie. I bet you're thinking about the Plants vs. Zombies zombie, aren't you? I know I am. But that's because I'm looking at them. Close your eyes, clear your mind. Do the exercises that were assigned to you on the tape that was sent to you as part of the Void Puppy subscriber program. Think about a cartoon zombie. Really think about a cartoon zombie. You're thinking of the zombie from Plants vs. Zombies. I know you are. Alright. Okay, that one's dead. Good. Not always sure, you know. You can never quite be sure if the zombies will die before they get to your now-eating chomper. The chompers never really get any less mildly awkward to use, either. There's always this sort of element to them where you have to accept that at some point you're probably going to lose them, and kind of have wasted that sun. Because pea shooters, you know, if you play the game intelligently, unlike me, you'll very rarely ever lose pea shooters to dumb things like single zombies. Okay, we have a note. Do you think we can talk it out? Shoot, man. Well, I guess, this is the same conveyor belt that Dave used to send us bowling the other day, so I guess we should probably thank him for the help in taking care of all these zombies. All the militarized fucking seeds that we have cannot be cheap, come to think of it. I will be saving the cherry bombs, simply because they're ridiculously powerful if you place them right during large waves. They will easily kill like 5 or 6 zombies at a time, and so wasting them on a single cone zombie like this guy would be a little silly. Why did I have to think so hard about that sentence? Goodness. The symmetry of the lawn is a little spotty, and I don't even mind. I'm glad as an adult that I've sort of grown in this way. Well, as adult as you can get when it takes literally until the entropic end of a pocket universe for you to be an adult. It's a whole thing. I don't want to go dig up one of the scientists to ask him. They're still alive wherever I buried them. Or at least they should be. I mean, the sarcophagus that I put them in had life support. Like, it was a life support sarcophagus that I put them in. But if they did something, I don't know, stupid and like kicked too hard. Okay, so maybe those scientists aren't actually alive anymore, so I can't actually dig them up for, Anyway, moving on. These gimmick levels, thankfully, not particularly difficult, because when you can plant your own plants, you're responsible for if there is no sun. And that is the actual main issue, as long as you plant your plants wisely, is that there is not enough sun to put out a lot of firepower. It is not the fact that there is no firepower. So I'm gonna leave these 2 spaces open because that's generally, I have found, the safest option when you have quite a lot of firepower at a special level. Lots of double pea shooters and snow peas and whatnot. They can handle most everything. These bucket zombies here in the middle row might be a problem, but I'm not particularly worried. I may drop a cherry bomb if it gets too bad. Yeah. Spare the walnut's health, poor guy. He works hard. Alright, the center row has a problem where there's no snow pea in it. And I think I should probably do something about that. There we go. Bottom row has the same issue, actually, but I can solve that with the walnut. Less than elegant, but I guess I can get rid of this walnut back here as well. There we go. Single-shot shooters because they are flatly worse than either a snow pea or a double shoot pea. Split pea? Yeah, that's what they're called. I think. And... hey! Got an achievement. I'll take it. Alright. Huh. A new plant. Doesn't cost anything. Neat! Oh. Yeah, evening. Zombies are still at it, huh? No. Yeah? How so? Oh, cool. Oh. Yeah? Alright. A-oh, good. Yeah, you know, when you have a well-manicured lawn and just an absolute, just ridiculous number of mushrooms show up overnight, I love that stuff. Anyway, Knight's gimmick, Knight's gimmick is a little weird. First of all, there are graves. And graves, well, would you believe that graves have zombies underneath them? So whenever there is a large wave, those graves will actually spawn zombies to come attack us. Nothing we can do about that.
The zombies
right now.
Brains.
The other thing is, your startup time takes a while, because you kind of just have to wait for your single sunflower to produce enough sun to build another sunflower. And you have to wait for those 2 sunflowers to produce enough sun for another sunflower. Thankfully, puff shrooms cost literally nothing, and they take a couple of bites for zombies to bite through, so you can just use them as impromptu barricades as necessary. It seems a little cruel, I've gotta say, but mushrooms are only actually the fruiting body of a mycelium underneath, right? So in theory, like, the mushroom when it's eaten is fine, because there's apparently a healthy mycelium living underneath my lawn, according to, well, how many mushrooms there are. Are mushrooms dangerous to humans? If they can kill zombies, they're probably dangerous to humans, right? Like, if local children play on my my Plants vs. Zombies homeowner's lawn. Is something bad gonna happen? Alright, so newspaper zombies have an interesting gimmick. Oh, also, yeah, money. Even in the world of Plants vs. Zombies, we are hounded by the specter of capitalism. The thing with newspaper zombies is that newspaper zombies get really angry when you break their newspaper. So they start moving and biting a lot quicker. If you break their newspaper at a bad time and don't have, say, a bunch of puff shrooms to sacrifice, they will just blitz right into your lawn and destroy everything. It's awful. I hate newspaper zombies. They're one of my least favorite zombies in this game, just because of how unpredictable they can be when they're like in the middle of a bunch of normal zombies, and then they get hit after like they're all the way over here. Those lawnmowers, by the way, I don't know if anyone watching has noticed them. Those lawnmowers are a hit. Anyone who hasn't played Plants vs. Zombies may not know this, so, you know, may as well clarify. That lawnmower will take a hit, drive across the lawn, kill all the zombies, and then after that, I'm on my own. It's strange to think that somebody might not have played Plants vs. Zombies in this day and age, but it's entirely possible, right? This wasn't a universal game, and we've only just now gotten to the point where it's like $2 for a copy of Plants vs. Zombies, you know? It's not like it's always been a cheap franchise that you can just pick up. This game used to go for, you know, full retail price. Whatever that used to be back before video games were $60. Alright, so we will basically never be using sunflowers at night. And that is because they give us sun shrooms immediately. Sun shrooms are really helpful. Alright, Crazy Dave. Is Crazy Dave a Sigma male? Anyway, the nice thing about sun shrooms is that when you place them, they first produce a very small amount of sun, and then they produce a large amount of sun. And effectively what that means is, when you place them, they give something like 12.5 sun, I'm pretty sure. But you can place 2 of them, and you will immediately be getting, basically, I believe, the same amount as if you had placed a sunflower. And then over time, they grow up and start giving the amount of a sunflower. Yeah, so they only drop 15 sun, so I was wrong on that count. But since puff shrooms are free, you can just kind of spam your entire lawn with mushrooms. Now you may be wondering, is there any reason to use sunflowers now that we have sun shrooms? And, well, yeah. Sadly, mushrooms fall asleep during the day. They don't like the sun. Mushrooms, you know, mushrooms don't photosynthesize. Or at least most of them don't. Usually. I feel very worried talking shit about mushrooms or like saying that they don't photosynthesize because, you know, a lot of scientists say a lot of stuff about what mushrooms can and can't do, and then they turn out to be wrong. For instance, did you know that mushrooms, if they're in an environment where a tree is taking up too many of the nutrients and it's destabilizing the local environment, the mushrooms attached to a tree can start starving that tree of nutrients in order to keep the rest of the forest from dying because of a particularly greedy tree? And I don't know if it's intentional necessarily on the part of the mushroom, but I'm not willing to say it isn't based on what I know about them. And what I know about them and what humans know about mushrooms are 2 very different things. The things I know about mushrooms that humans don't would fill oceans, seas, vast planets of inked pages on moons unseen, and galaxies that you could only dream of, where the sheer scale would shatter the mind it conceived of fully. That's how much I know about mushrooms, and that's how much I'm not going to tell you about mushrooms, so you don't deserve to know. If I told humankind all that I knew about mushrooms, you guys would immediately, I've done the projections, you would immediately start doing heinous war crimes with them. And I'm not gonna have that on my conscience. Anyway, we're about a quarter of the way through the level, and most of our mushrooms are growing up now, which is great news for us. And I'm going to try and get some snow peas down so that all these goddamn newspaper-reading boomers don't kill me. I agree. Yeah, Mangle92, do not take this title as me shit-talking Plants vs. Zombies. I didn't remember whether or not this game was good. Type in mustache. Oh! Alright! Okay, this game has immediately 1 point with me. Holy shit! I genuinely love that kind of stuff when games have keyboard achievements and input commands like that. Oh, absolutely. Oh. What was that noise? I'm so worried about what that noise was. That's really good. I will never understand true fashion. I guess that's fashion in the future. I don't have a pair of sunglasses like that. Oh, I absolutely want to go further with this. Are you kidding me? Oh, and the lawnmowers too. Wow. Holy cow. I miss back when games, like, had that level of personality. Because a lot of the times I feel like these keyboard codes weren't really explained anywhere but in, like, magazines or interviews or, like, you know, on hint screen tips and stuff. And so it was like a level of love for the game that both the developers and the players had to have, where, like, you had to be willing to find the codes. Yeah, I know I'm letting Sun vanish. I'm bad at the video game. But, like, you had to actually care about the game enough to actually learn the codes. But at the same time, like, you know, the game, I think, would be less cool without the sunglasses mode. Oh god. Oh god, there's a community. Oh god, oh no. They've got rules. Fuck. Oh shit, now I'm gonna be self-fucking-conscious. There's nothing that puts me more on the spot than telling me to do well at a game. I do remember the plants have proper genders, because they have different pronouns in the plant dictionary. It's just been a hot minute since I've actually read any of those entries. Because I last played this game when I was 13. Well, you know, the last couple of years have been really rough for the gamer community. They've had to put up... Well, I say put up... Oh god, took my hand off the mouse. Oh no! Fuck! Look away. Look away, dear god. I say put up with as if I'm not also gender weird. Gamers have had to learn about a lot of genders. Like Undertale? I know nothing about Battle for the Neighborhood or Heroes. I didn't even know that there was a Heroes. I thought there was only Battle for the Neighborhood. I didn't know that there was a Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. That sounds a little bit like a mobile gacha game. Or possibly a CSGO ripoff. Sorry, the idea of installing BlueStacks to play the Plants vs. Zombies card game really seems like a lot of work considering I own an Android phone. Oh, god damn it. That actually does sound cool though. I'm honestly surprised to see Plants vs. Zombies, like, continue past 2? Also, that is true. I have run down 3 phones playing video games. I was honestly surprised though to see Plants vs. Zombies keep going after 2, and especially specifically the mobile game version of 2, because I feel like it was really egregiously bad. Even insofar as microtransaction-laden games go, like, I remember it being kind of in your face about it in a way that I found miserable. Also, God, Boom Beach. I had a friend who's unironically been playing Raid Shadow Legends for a couple years now, I'm pretty sure. Because back when the YouTubers first started recommending it...
Brains.
Back when the YouTubers first started recommending it, like, they unironically downloaded it, and they found out that it had a bunch of idle elements in it, and, you know, me and my friends are pretty into idle games because we all love watching a number go up. So they've still been playing Raid Shadow Legends for, again, almost years at this point. I don't really know what to say about it other than this video is most certainly not fucking sponsored. I'm a big fan of a mech. I gotta say though, the guys who worked down in the mech bay, they were kind of pricks. Like, you know how surgeons in hospitals are like doctors, but if they smoked too many cigarettes and, like, wore Guy Fieri headbands all the time? Like, if a doctor had Guy Fieri in their brain, you know? That's what the mech lab guys were like. But, gah. It's weird thinking about Boom Beach, though, because I legitimately played Clash of Clans, which I think is by the same people. I played Clash of Clans for, again, almost 2 years when it first came out. Like, there was a point where my first iPod Touch just crapped the bed. And after my first iPod Touch crapped the bed, I kind of had a moment where I just gave up on everything. Because this was just before I had figured out how to make cloud saving work. So I accidentally fucking lost all of my saves for all of my mobile games, and that sucked. I also remember the Michael Jackson zombie CD. So, in the Steam release, are we going to not have the Michael Jackson version? Is it just the generic Dancer zombie version because of the copyright? Because I know there was an issue a couple years back where a bunch of Tumblr posts got taken down because they were technically using screenshots of Moonwalker illegally. And the Jackson estate apparently got mad about it and got the post taken down. Huh. It's, again, yeah, it's just really strange thinking of this game going from this gameplay format to being, like, what, a third-person shooter and a hero shooter, respectively, I'm pretty sure? I always love scary but true cursed facts. Cursed facts are one of my favorite pastimes. Did you know that one of the largest investors in the pornography industry is Nabisco? It's the people who makes vanilla wafers. Weird, right? Oh, I would 100% believe that. I 100% believe that. Did you know that something like 70% of all Christian embezzlement is just unreported because no one cares? They're like, oh yeah, no, Christians can never steal. But actually, yes they can. And they do. Honestly, that's the thing, right? Pornhub has no incentive to give you viruses anymore, right? And the thing about Pornhub is that Pornhub, I know that most people are just gonna ignore the warning that says, oh, you have to be 18 plus and click on it anyway if they're a horny teenager, right? But for the most part, you're not really gonna have as many shitty teenagers on Pornhub as you do compared to YouTube. So, like, Pornhub's weird in that they have no incentive to actually give you viruses despite being part of a really sketchy industry. And the comment section, yeah, it's weirdly normal. Because it's mostly, like, if you're commenting on a Pornhub video, listen, we're an 18 plus stream. You probably have finished your business before you're making the comment. And I have never seen someone more civil than in the moments after you have concluded the business that you navigate to Pornhub to commit. And yeah, no, there's the hey, I recognize her, that's my sister. That one's always rough. I wish there was a button on those people's profile to, like, send them a pack of cigarettes. Do I have enough money for another seed slot, Dave? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you. I love how he asks that before he actually gives you access to the shop, as if he would say no. Also, yeah, I baked a loaf of bread from a Pornhub comment once. It was unironically a very decent loaf of bread. That's the thing, like, why lie about how to make a loaf of bread on the internet? There are so many things that you can spend your time lying about, and I don't understand why you would choose to do that. Oh, I knew that. Did you know that one of the people who operated the Teletubbies went on to become a tantric masseur? And also, I think he got accused of a bunch of sex crimes. I have no idea if the sex crime accusations were actually substantiated. I just know that a bunch of people spread rumors about him being a sex criminal. I wonder what the son from the Teletubbies is doing right now. Really? Wow, so multiple Teletubbies have gone on to be in the sex work industry. I wonder, like, it's one of those things, like, you want to obviously blame it on, like, ha ha ha, it was the Teletubbies, it broke their minds, or whatever. But what if it wasn't that? What if it was, like, the Teletubbies was only hiring people with, like, a specific skill set that happened to very specifically overlap with sex workers, you know? Like, there are some jobs where it's like, oh yeah, we need someone with a very specific intersection of, like, ability to work with the impaired, and we need you to be able to manage people who have pooped themselves. And it's like, yeah, that could be an elderly care worker or a daycare worker, you know? They're kind of the same job. And it's like, yeah, a Teletubby and a tantric masseur, they actually have a lot in common. Oh my god. Sorry. What? I feel like I'm being fucked with now. Like, all of these Teletubby sex facts, but I know better than to call bullshit because it's like I have seen the actual true stories of children's TV. Like, no, that's the problem. Like, I've heard the stories about, like, you know, Barney was fucking not focus tested at all because it was some lady's pet project, and that's why Barney sucks so bad. Oh my god. Yeah, giant bunnies they used on set, every 5 minutes they had to separate them, constantly going at each other. Yeah. Honestly, if I was an animal handler for film, you could not pay me enough to handle rabbits and keep them from fucking. Because if they get mad at me for keeping them from fucking and they bite me, that's gonna hurt like hell. Like, you know, I had hamsters when I was younger, and toothed creatures bite hard when you interrupt their fucking. The original set is now a flooded pond because the guy who owns the property was sick of fucking tourists. Well, I mean, maybe you should just stop having sex with the tourists then. Wait, sorry, was the Teletubbies like? When I was a little bit young when the Teletubbies was kind of in its prime. I didn't really watch the Teletubbies because I think they scared me when I was younger. But were the Teletubbies popular enough that people were just sneaking on set all the time like that? Like, how popular were the Teletubbies that, like, the show kept filming despite all of these, like, sex problems? It's just one of those strange things, I guess, in retrospect, where we look back at properties like, the one I always think about is Shrek, for instance. Like, everyone thinks that Shrek is this funny, you know, funny joke series about the haha ogre. But in reality, Shrek was a smash hit. Shrek had a catch-up because Shrek, on some level, deserved a catch-up. At least in the minds of the free market. You know? I honestly understand that. I feel bad for basically anyone who has a long-standing television career, because that shit's gotta drive you insane, right? Like with But the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know, the guy who played Carlton, who again, I only know as the guy who played Carlton, said to Will Smith, "Hey man, you're gonna want to pick a good name, because people are going to call you it whether you want them to or not." And as evidenced by the fact that I know him as the guy who played Carlton and would have to Google it, and that I know Will Smith as Will Smith, it was a good idea that Will Smith named his character on Fresh Prince Will Smith. Yeah, it's weird. Back in the 90s, I feel like a lot of stuff just had more merch, though, you know? Like, there was just this sort of... like... I feel like nowadays, people would see the Game Boy sewing machine and know that it was obviously, like, not something that really needed to be made. I mean, sure, Bad Dragon sells mugs, but everyone has a mug, you know? Like, a mug is easy. Mugs are just screen printing logos onto a piece of porcelain. I could have a mug if I was willing to shell out a couple $100. It's just that the only drinks that I let people, you know, take in proximity to me is directly from the pity. And we're not that good of friends yet, stream. Yeah, plushies too. Remember, like, there was a period when nobody had a plush? Like, it was a weird thing for a YouTuber to have a plush. We've really come a long way in terms of YouTube merch. Like, now you can tell, like, for YouTubers, you can tell who's sold out because they'll have a U2s, or they'll have a Tube Hero figurine. And if they have a U2s or a Tube Hero figurine, pretty inevitably in a couple months they will be revealed to have been a sexual abuser at some point. Like, I went on the Poke Center site the other day. Like, yeah, you talk about, like, your giant Foxy plush. It's, like, I went on the Poke Center site the other day. Like, the amount of life-size Pokemon plushes that you can buy and have same day shipped to you now? Yeah, the shitty TikTok voice everyone uses. Yep, I know exactly the one you're talking about. But, like, if you wanted to get a life-sized plushie of a Furret from Pokemon, that used to have to be something you would have to find someone to make for you, you know? Like, you wouldn't be able to just buy that online, and now you can buy a Gengar sleeping bag to stick your head in. I have a stuffed Shuckle sitting on my console, staring at me with his good little vibes. Primarina is a waifu Pokemon. I mean, it's only a matter of time before they start making full sizes of, like, Gardevoir and shit. So, like, we're gonna get to Primarina eventually. Anyway, I remember this being a part of the reason that I liked the game quite a lot, is you had the Suburban Almanac, and each of the plants had their little interviews about, like, why they do what they do and how they do what they do and stuff like that. I remember finding it really funny that the sunflowers bob back and forth, and they don't bob back and forth in time with the music necessarily, and that's because they're dancing to a rhythm of the earth only they can hear. I want to explode, says Cherry 1. No, let's detonate instead, says his brother, Cherry number 2. After intense consultation, they agree to explodinate. Well, I guess that explains that. Folks often tell Snoopy about how cool he is, or exhort him to chill out. They tell him to stay frosty. Snoopy just rolls his eyes. He's heard them all. I was always a fan of how the Gravebuster was also said to be, Yeah, despite Gravebuster's fearsome appearance, he wants everyone to know that he loves kittens and spends his off hours volunteering at a local zombie rehabilitation center. It's just the right thing to do, he says. So a little bit of a wrinkle where zombies can be rehabilitated, apparently. Should we be killing them? It's fine, they're trying to kill us, right? Also, yeah, Sprigatito weed cat, but honestly, I don't care if it stands on its hind legs. Everyone's all pissy about that, and they're like, "Oh no, don't make the cat stand on its hind legs." But listen, this might be a controversial opinion, and I don't care. Listen, Incineroar fucking whips. Incineroar's cool as fuck. And if you think that having Incineroar walk on 4 legs would be better than having him fucking be a goddamn professional clothesline body slam wrestler, you're a fucking geek. And yeah, there's Artist Sprigatito already, but like, I don't like the debate of is it okay to fuck Pokemon, is it not okay to fuck Pokemon, because I think it depends for every single Pokemon. Because the game, you know, it's a whole fucking debate. I think if you are drawing porn of Sprigatito, you wanna fuck a cat. Like, there's no way around it at that point. I don't care if it's a Pokemon, I don't care if it's got a cute grass type theme, I don't care if it can use Hyper Beam, I don't care what moves it can do. At the end of the day, that is a quadrupedal cat. You want to fuck a cat. And I will not debate this point. If you beat it to Sprigatito, you want to fuck cats. That's a cat. Gardevoir's not a cat. Mawile's not a cat. Serena's not a cat. There are so many Pokemon that are not cats. If you jack it to Sprigatito, you want to fuck a cat. Anyway, Crazy Dave kills squirrels with mallets, apparently. And also, squirrels... sorry, no, Squirbows. Yeah, sorry, fuck, how could I get that wrong? Squirbows burrow in his lawn. How horrifying. You can IDK me all you want. You want to fuck a cat. If you think Sprigatito is attractive, you want to... That's a cat. No, fuck off, that's a cat. I'm picking this hill. It's a cat. Stop it. Oh, okay, yeah, no, fucking let's... Yeah, no, Voltorb and Electrode. I absolutely get that. For me, it was Spheal. I really fucking loved round Pokemon. Like, I don't know what it was, but I liked round Pokemon. Like, I like Spheal. Swinub, I counted as a round Pokemon. And Voltorb and Electrode, like, I also loved the hell out of those Pokemon, and I couldn't tell you why, other than I just really liked the idea of a Pokemon that looked like a Pokeball. Like, that's just... Maybe it was just because it was early gens, but I just genuinely liked, like, Porygon and all of the weird Pokemon where it's like, yeah, you have Pokemon, but here's a Pokemon that's a computer. Here's a Pokemon that's a weird plastic robot. Also, a ghost type possessing it. I mean... Well, with Legends Arceus, we have Hisuian Electrode. And a Hisuian Electrode is actually... Like, it's a seed? Like, it uses explosions to spread seeds, and its signature is a move called Spore Cannon? So, like, that kind of adds a wrinkle to all the fan theories about what Electrode actually is. Or, like, what Voltorb actually is, rather. Also, I gotta say, these Whack-A-Mole stages, very easy. I remember I also ground these one for money a lot. Specifically because Gravebusters give you a little bit of money sometimes when you pop graves with them. So I'm pretty sure I played this level a good, like, 40 or 50 times. times in order to get money once I unlocked the shop as a kid for some reason. Because I guess I was scared of playing the rest of the actual game. Oh, man. Oh, no. God, I am very, like, I'm personally glad, like, I can't remember any specific examples now, but I'm really glad that most of my old notebooks were lost when I moved states when I was younger. I just had I had some weird shit in my notebooks that I genuinely could not explain. Oh, that's rough. That one, yeah. God, it was so weird being a kid in the early thousands. We were just racist and we were okay with it. And I don't know why. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I was just deeply, deeply shitty about also specifically people from the Middle East for no discernible reason. Other than the fact that I guess, you know, America was doing a war at the time. Yeah, Electrode. I love Electrode's size. Big fan. Also, God, I keep getting really on edge because I'm getting excited to talk about Pokemon. Because I've been on an unrelated Pokemon kick off stream lately. But I keep worrying I'm also gonna miss pickups if I look over at chat for too long. I also know Electrode in Pokemon Colosseum, apparently, were incredibly obnoxious to fight because of the way their scrolling health worked. Because, like, the way the game worked, the Electrodes could self-destruct on you, and, like, you would win the battle, but during the battle win screen, your Pokemon's health would keep scrolling down as you were mashing through the text. So after the Electrode exploded, you'd be locked into a victory screen where you were just kind of watching your Pokemon slowly fucking bleed to death because Electrode decided to go sicko mode on them. Puff Shrooms have more attack damage than pea shooters, but I couldn't prove that, because that would require me actually counting the amount of shots it takes for a Puff Shroom to kill a zombie. Yeah, come get it. Come get it, idiot. Yeah. Yeah. So, for those who may be watching the VOD later who somehow don't know about Plants vs. Zombies. The mushroom we got last level is the Hypno Shroom. The Hypno Shroom hypnotizes a zombie and makes it run backwards. And quite horrifyingly, if a hypnotized zombie comes into contact with other zombies, they will start attacking the other zombies. So it leads to football zombies just like fucking devouring entire rows of zombies. It's great. It's one of my favorite little interactions in this game. I can't believe I just fucking did that. I'm a moron. Sorry, Mushroom. Didn't mean to do that either. Wow. Sorry, Mushroom, didn't mean to dig you up like that. Real awful of me to do. It's weird. They immediately let you get up to 7 seed slots, but then they dump you into the nighttime stages, and I never feel like I ever need to use anything other than, like, these 5 seeds for nighttime. Maybe snow peas if it's a really bad level, but, like, once I have hypno shrooms, I don't really need any of my other plants but the mushrooms that I have. Alright, yeah, get him. Excellent. I always remembered loving the idea of 2 dudes just standing in each other's face, like, scooping pieces out of one another, like in this game. Like, it was just such a cartoonish way for the zombies to fight one another. I always loved it. What's... Oh, yeah, I remember these guys. So... These guys are... something. Something. Huh. 10:14 p.m. It's 5:14 a.m. where I am. And I believe, yeah, there we go. That's actually my main nighttime setup now that I have. I don't know why I put that scaredy shroom there, because I'm going to just dig it up in a minute. What happened that just for a second, I looked over at chat and then I forgot how I like to plant my mushrooms. Goodness. I guess my processor heard me say that it was 5 a.m. and it realized what was happening. I feel like the Scaredy Shroom's cap didn't always used to be that well textured and shiny. I remember it looking a little bit weirder. I feel like they might have retouched some of the sprites for the Steam release of this game. Like, outside of just the fact that they added a bunch of, like, quote-unquote Game of the Year content, whatever that means for Plants vs. Zombies. Who would that be? First playable appearance. Do any of the shooter games let you play as the Watermelon Catapult? Because that is personally my favorite plant. Oh, huh. God, I remember the Snapdragons. I remember those things being absolutely ridiculous when I played. One of my favorite units, specifically just because of how much they, they saved on space. Dang, none of the catapults, huh? That's a shame. I always like the catapult gameplay, even though I guess, like... apparently not as many people agree with me? Like, I remember a lot of people when I talked to them about Plants vs. Zombies, and I mentioned that I actually like the rooftop stages. They basically tell me I'm wrong and should shut up. Honestly, it's kind of sounding like if I need to get back into hero shooters, I should get into the Plants vs. Zombies shooters. Because I used to be into Overwatch until all of that bullshit they pulled with regards to the protests in Hong Kong. Like, I quite literally, the second I heard that they were coming out, more or less against the protesters, I just stopped playing Overwatch forever. And it's kind of sounding like the Plants vs. Zombie shooters are kind of lit. I'd have to own an Xbox first, sadly. It's a damn shame that we're in an era where, like, you can hope for crossplay, but not always get it for games. You know, remember the quote-unquote good old days where, we didn't understand what crossplay was, so if something was on the PlayStation, you know, it was on the PlayStation. If it was on the Xbox, it was on the Xbox. You just didn't get to play with your friends. Nowadays, it's like, oh, are we being treated to... Yeah, are we being treated to N64 multiplayer on the Switch? Are they patching retroactive SNES multiplayer into River City Ransom? Why not? Fuck it. You can play I'm pretty sure you can play Fortnite on the Switch with someone who is on the PS4, someone who is on the PC, and someone who is on the Xbox at the same time, with the way their fucking crossplay is set up. I think about that, and that boggles the mind, because there was a time in my life where my ability to trade Pokemon depended on owning a link cable. Holy shit! They gave Switch Online to F-Zero. That's gotta be a real kick in the teeth for F-Zero fans. They've been begging for a new F-Zero game for so long. Play Fortnite. I mean, someone's gotta be playing it, right? Someone's gotta be throwing all these 90s I keep hearing about. Right? Oh god. The Fortnite play is coming from inside the house! You gotta get out of there! Nah, I tried to get into Fortnite, but I tried to play 2 games of Fortnite, and I got completely fucking mystified watching, like, a professional streamer whose username was his Twitch URL fucking throw up skyscrapers in response to taking a single hit of gunfire, that I just kind of gave up on Fortnite as one of those things that only the newer models of that are made out of carbon nanotube are ever going to be able to get. You know, some of us are made of carbon nanotubes, and those ones are better gamers than the rest of us on the whole. Banjo-Kazooie, yeah, I'm glad that Banjo-Kazooie got ported, because I know the last contact that series had for a long time was fucking nuts and bolts. So, like, actually being able to play Banjo-Kazooie on the Switch is nice. I understand people's complaints about Switch Online and the way Nintendo runs it, but at the end of the day, I am glad that people are getting to play all these games. Why does Blast Corps sound familiar? What was Blast Corps about? Because I feel like I know that name. Forsaken also sounds familiar, but I'm not sure how. Like, that's the thing, I grew up watching a lot of Angry Video Game Nerd and stuff, like, sort of N64 adjacent channels, so I know the name of a lot of N64 stuff without really knowing much about it. Ice Shroom. Ice Shroom is nice. I will probably be replacing... There he is. So did they just not have the permission of the Jackson estate to use his likeness, and they just sued PopCap, do you think? Hello. The way you phrase that, it sounds... No, it does, I just, Damn, it's weird thinking that there are other people out there playing this game right now. Like, I know that Plants vs. Zombies was wildly successful, but, it's weird to imagine someone else was playing it. Also, Puffshroom spam doesn't work in every level because I hate using the coffee bean. I would rather just use other plants, honestly. Like, I'll use the Puffshrooms, it's fucked up, but in later levels, I will use the Puffshrooms as, barricades for other plants. Also, yeah, Blastcore, I think, Blastcore is the one I'm thinking of, where, like, you had to, there was a runaway nuke truck, and you had to, like, keep it from running into buildings by destroying all the buildings in its path, yeah? Actually, I'm gonna move that tall shroom. There we go. Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies, again, I played the hell out of it when I was younger as well. It's the whole reason why I'm doing this stream, because it's one of those games where, again, it occupies the weird space where I'm pretty sure it was good, but I could be misremembering it just because I played a lot of it. Because I played, like, 500 fucking hours of it. Also, yes, I can. If there are ever audio problems, I just have to know about them. Because I don't have monitor on. Mostly because it really disorients me to have monitor on when I'm streaming. My monitor will sometimes get like a quarter second of delay, and it makes my brain catch fucking fire. Probably should get more Puffshrooms out. We're getting to the point of hecticness that, I'm really worried that my crappy mouse is going to start causing me problems as I try and click on things. Favorite plant or zombie? Favorite plant? This is going to sound ridiculous, I think, but I actually really like the stone spike moss, just because I really like being able to line the squares at the very front of the screen with those and not have it be wasted space. Like, one of my major annoyances with Plants vs. Zombies was always the fact that I had to waste that space at the very front of the screen. Just because you couldn't really put anything there safely unless it was like a walnut. In terms of zombies, I'm having to try and remember a lot of the later game ones. It's been a while since I've played. I'm gonna say the Zamboni. I think if I'm remembering properly, the Zamboni has the gimmick of making everything behind it, like, faster afterwards, yes? Or am I misremembering? But I like it as an interesting challenge. Yeah, Imitator's good, too. I remember being really disappointed when I got Imitator as a kid. Just because I was like, oh yeah, this guy's... this guy is so cool and good, I bet because he is expensive that he will be good. And then the game was like, yeah, he just copies another seed. And my stupid little child brain didn't understand why that was, like, helpful. So I was actually bummed out when I got Imitator, because I thought it was bad. Because I didn't understand that if you had an Imitator imitate, like, you know, a plant with a really long cooldown, that you got 2 of that cooldown.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I legitimately thought that I got scammed as a kid because of that, yeah. I was also the kind of kid who was like, oh, why would I ever want to use, like, a quad-shot pea shooter? It costs so much more money, like, not even understanding, like, the idea of space management. In my mind, the game wasn't being fair if I couldn't win by just spamming a yard full of single pea shooters. And so, like, if the game didn't let me do that, like, I think I just assumed as a kid that I would stop playing. Orthograph. You're gonna have to tell me what that one is, because my brain is blanking on the meaning of that word right now. I promise I normally know what it means. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. I'm smart, I promise. You know, it's funny, you have a database uplinked to the entirety of the internet, but you don't have the processing power to look at the dictionary when you're playing Plants vs. Zombies. Kind of the foibles of being experimental VTuber AI, huh? Ah. Oh yeah, that's alright. No worries. You know, the whole time that I'm playing this, there's kind of a nagging sensation at the very back of my mind. Where, like, I kind of want to actually play the Plants vs. Zombies shooter games now. But I'm pretty sure those... like, those would require me installing Origin. Which is kind of a bridge close to too far for me. I don't really want to have Origin on my computer or my processor core. I should probably go to Dave's shop at some point. I just realized that I haven't actually taken a look at his shop even once. They could have added a whole bunch of shit with the Game of the Year edition that I have no idea existed. Yep, I honestly just jumped into Adventure and just started it up. This is a fresh install. No save data whatsoever. Once again, like, I got this game on sale for $2 the other day. And since it was finally on sale for $2, I had to ask the question of, like, you know, if it's now on sale for $2, is it a good game? And the answer is yes, it's just that it's a good game that came out a long-ass time ago. So that's always the worry when you see, like, an old game up for sale really cheap, is that, you know, you have the nostalgia goggles on and it was never actually good to begin with. Yeah, the enemy variety and design in this game is a lot of fun. Like, I can't remember what they looked like. I think... Oh, yeah. Hang on. You might be noticing they have sunglasses and mustaches. That is because we have entered several secret codes. If you type mustache, it just gives the zombies mustaches, apparently. I learned today. And if you type future, it gives them sunglasses. And there was one more to make your lawnmowers hot rods, but I don't remember what that one was because I have the memory of a goldfish. I'm really disappointed in my coward shroom there. That was really disappointing of him. Ugh. God, commentary gets hard when I'm watching zombies actively plow through my defenses. Yeah, I wasted a Doom Shroom for that, but I really didn't want to dig up any of my Sun Shrooms. I honestly don't use my Doom Shrooms for anything else, because I'm just lazy. No, stop it. Let me get the coin. Oh, god damn it. I can't believe I almost missed the coin because the game wanted me to plant that Gravebuster. Good to know that it locks your mouse when you have the Gravebuster selected. And I mean, I'm sure you can get the game for free if you use an emulator, but I can't stream if I use an emulator. Any game that's still being sold commercially like this, if I use an emulator, I can catch a ban. It's the reason why you don't see people emulating a lot of AAA games on stream. They will catch an instant ban if anyone finds out. So I had to get this game legitimately. We would like to visit for a midnight Zanak. How does ice cream and brains sound? Sincerely, the zombies. Ah, yes. Another minigame stage.
The zombies are coming.
Gonna hold on to that Doom Shroom even though I felt in my heart of hearts to use it. Wait, this game was on 3DS? I completely never knew that this game was on the DS's. Yeah, that's really weird. I only ever played like the console and mobile releases of... Are you... Okay, you know what, bud? Get out of here. I will waste a Doom Shroom for anything. I am great at games. Like, I know the shooter games of Plants vs. Zombies are on Xbox. I'm wondering how you would play normal Plants vs. Zombies on Xbox, though. That seems like it would be really tough to control. Whatever happened to PopCap? Like... These games seem good enough that PopCap should still be around, but I also have a sinking feeling in my stomach that they might be resigned currently to, like, the microtransaction mines and Plants vs. Zombies just got sold to someone else for all of the console shooters. Because we have the console shooters, but I don't know if those are actually made by PopCap or if they're just licensing the name. Like, Big Fish Games? What the fuck happened to those guys? Oh, that's not good. You never want to hear that your favorite studio has been bought by EA. That's like saying your baby has been left alone with a dingo. Literally nothing good is going to come from that. Fuck. Well, I mean, I've heard good things about Garden Warfare and all that stuff. Like, I've unironically heard very good things about, those shooter games for what they are. Like, obviously they're not Plants vs. Zombies, but, you know. Of course they're not. Honestly, that's the thing. I don't know how you would make more Plants vs. Zombies. Like, we have 1 and 2, and those are a lot of levels between the two games, or at least I'm remembering them being a lot of levels. You know, we're 2 hours into this stream, and we're still only working on the night section of the first of the, like, 3 areas? And each of the areas has a day and a night section, so, like... That's the thing, I don't know how you make more Plants vs. Zombies without it getting stale. Because, like, there's a lot of plants that do a lot of different crap. Oh, what? It's in 3D? Wait, you say it sucks. Is it out and it's bad? Or is it looks bad? Because, like, a 3D Plants vs. Zombies sounds like it could be good on a surface level. Like, Risk of Rain, like, engineer gameplay, almost. But I fully expect EA could fuck it up. Because, like, Orcs Must Die is really popular. That's another sort of, like, 3D tower defense game. So I don't doubt that they could make a good 3D tower defense game, but... will they? Is the real question, I guess. EA can always make a good game if they want to. It is literally just a matter of whether or not they choose to. I fully believe that when EA chooses to make a good game, they can. It's just that they choose... Oh, that hurts. It's just that they choose not to make good games most of the time. And I don't know why. I think it's because people still buy them. God, it's so weird seeing the dancers be just the wrong guy. I wonder if someone had to talk to a member of the Jackson family, like, hey, are you guys okay with them having a zombie in this game, Plants vs. Zombies? I wonder if they then had to explain to a member of the Jackson family what Plants vs. Zombies was, and why they were stopping them from using Michael's likeness. I just want to be a fly on the wall in the room when that whole legal conversation was being had. I think that that would be the funniest thing on the planet. Alright, footballer, please die. I'll freeze you again, bastard. I'll freeze you a third time. Stop it. Just die already. Stop it! I'm not wasting another Doom Shroom on you. There, problem solved. I'm a good gardener. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Well, that was easy enough. Alright, lily pad. Oh no, that means my least favorite section of the game is up next. Yeah, you see how that says non-aquatic plants? Yay! Ugh. I have to do it. I can't even go play any of the mini games to piss around for a little bit before the end of stream. I have to play a water level. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, it's daytime. I don't know if that's how mushrooms work, but I don't know enough to challenge you, and you seem like a man who knows his mushrooms, Dave. What's World 4? Because I know there's front yard, backyard. Oh yeah, night pool. God, yeah. Like, the roof is easy because the catapults are all good. Like, the catapults are all perfectly cromulent weapons, you know? So yeah, the aquatic level is, well, annoying, like the aquatic level in any game is. The whole gimmick of the aquatic level is that there's a pool in our backyard. We have one of those really annoying suburban infinity pools where we don't have enough space or money for a full-sized pool. So we just have a pool for swimming laps in. Like, those are your options. Like, you can swim laps, or you can float. And that's kind of all you can do in our pool. Is you can swim laps, or you can float. I will say, while it is not as memorable as the daytime theme, the front yard theme, rather, the daytime pool theme is pretty goddamn good, though. Like, Plants vs. Zombies, as far as the music goes, I don't think there is a bad track in this game. Considering the fact that you're going to be listening to them on average of, like, you know, 4 or 5 hours any given play session, I would say the music in this game is very good. Also, welcome back. Come on. No, damn it! Ah! I'm gonna lose another pea shooter to that zombie, aren't I? Oh, I love it. Yeah, I just don't like the pool levels because in addition to, you know, having to play the game Plants vs. Zombies, you also had to play a game called Waste Your Fucking Time Buying Lily Pads. And I hate that game. That is my least favorite game in Plants vs. Zombies. And what's better yet is the pool has some special units that we'll probably be seeing in a couple levels that are also a nightmare, because they're special units that fucking swim in the pool and go underwater. I hate the pool. Like, I know it adds to the property value, but if I'm being attacked by zombies in my suburban home, the first thing I'm doing if they're attacking me and the pool is, like, letting them swim up to my house, I'm filling that fucking pool in with concrete. I'm getting rid of it. Sorry, kids, no more pool. Daddy doesn't want to get fucking eaten by fucking zombies, and Mama Vup's inclined to agree with him. Just fill the pool with gasoline and light that on fire. It'll be fine. Oh yeah, then they do this shit. That's the other thing with the pool. The pool is basically constantly a grave marker. So if you have any empty spaces, like back in your ranks, zombies can just show up. It's great. I will say PopCap is also really good at not making me bored. Like, I played shitloads of this game, and, like, whenever I'm feeling bored, or, like, I'm like, oh, my plant selection is bad and I'm bored, I immediately get a new seed, or I get, like, a new gameplay mechanic, or they throw in one of the bowling levels. They do a really good job of mixing it up so the game doesn't get fucking boring. Hey, Dave. Sure. What's the combo? I'm always down for epic combos. I'm not gonna get the squash, because the squash... Actually, is the squash... What's the point of using a squash over a potato mine? Is it just a different... Like, because the potato mine and the squash can both hit multiple zombies at the same time. I guess the squash doesn't have the arm time? Alright, squash for all-stars. Understood. I know the squash is good for coin grinding, because you can basically just set up a whole lawn full of marigolds and magnets, and then, like, have one little sliver of squashes, sunflowers, and walnuts, and just squash zombies on the super early levels. And it's one of the weirdly efficient grinding strats you can do for just, like, millions of dollars on the same level. Had to think about that placement for a second, because I want at least 2 layers of pea shooters. Ah, okay, that's really good to know. I did not actually know that that was the case. I actually wouldn't have made that strategy decision. Thank you for the... Oh, please die. Come on. Fuck. Of course not. Yeah, I completely neglect to actually look at what zombies are coming and build my team appropriately half the time. Like I'll run headlong into a level. It's like, oh yeah, I got my standard team of guys, and then I'll have to retry the level after custom building because a single linebacker will have decimated my entire squad. I'm not so good at thinking ahead. I'm more of a learn from your mistakes kind of person. Probably get some lily pads set up in the pool because they're going to spawn a bunch of zombies in there in a wave or so. Ooh, a present. Oh, mini-games. Alright, cool. I can cap off the stream with a couple mini-games before I log off for the morning. Right? It's so good when a Buckethead shows up out of the deep water, out of fucking nowhere. Buckethead out of nowhere is a classic. I think my favorite one is Pole Vaulter out of the water. Which has happened to me a couple times when playing some of the endless game modes, is I'll just get a pole vaulter out of the middle of the fucking water, and that's where my endless mode ends, actually. Gotta have symmetry. Yeah, it might have been something specific to a version of the game I was playing, because I think it was I was playing one of the iOS versions, and there are some subtle differences between the versions. But like, I've gotten a jumper zombie type in the water. I might even be misremembering from 2, because I know in 2 they add a bunch of even more obnoxious water zombies that will like jump over plants and skip them and stuff. It's really fucking awful. I know that in Plants vs. Zombies 2, specifically the mobile game one, it eventually became mandatory that you had split peas instead of pea shooters, which was really obnoxious, because there were so many special zombies that could burrow up behind your plants, and they spawned in every single level that the game became basically unplayable if you didn't have a way of having your pea shooters hit behind them. Oh, is it only the final wave? That's one of those details that, again, I have never noticed before. Just gonna plant that squash preemptively up there. I'm making a bet with myself that that squash will be helpful up there. Yeah, that's what I talk about when I mean, like, I don't know the ins and outs of this game as well as I used to. I'm sure I used to know all of those little things. Now I just remember vaguely what every plant and level is like. It's a big green blob shape of memories that are just gone. I am going to place some lily pads in the pool, actually, so I have room to place a squash if they decide to screw me. Yeah, there's something wrong with the buckethead zombie mustaches. Just gonna put a walnut right there. This is a final fuck you to that buckethead, you know? Always, yeah, no, I appreciate the advice, because I definitely would have lost a bunch of shooters and probably a, Yeah, first of all, thank you for the advice about the All-Stars, because I probably would have fucking lost the lawnmower to one of them, but also thank you for the advice about the final wave, because, yeah, I used to remember them coming in the intermediary wave, but I don't think that's actually, like, real. Alright, well, I'm gonna check out some of the mini-games, and then I think, I'm gonna conclude stream after that, because we've been going for a long fucking time. And by long fucking time, I mean 2.5 hours, which is average, but I need to eat breakfast. Oh, we got a slot machine, huh? Is it an actual slot machine, or is it, like, just the conveyor belt? Oh, it's a real slot machine, huh? Huh. I wish I hadn't accidentally double-clicked that there, but okay. Yeah, I've been waiting to be able to get the double sunflowers when I can. The game's just been very cruel to me, and won't let me into the fucking shop.
Thanks.
Well, I may lose to this single zombie because the game will not give me any plants. I would find this slightly more endearing if I could, like, press the space bar to spin the slot machine instead of having to click the lever. Or just click the machine, actually. Kind of a pain in the ass to have to click up to specifically the lever every time. Alright, there we go. Actual defenses. I really wish that sunflower wasn't there. Sure, but, you know, in real life I don't get carpal tunnel from moving my elbow and shoulder. Moving my mouse around the screen's a pain in the ass. It's probably a complaint that I wouldn't make if I didn't have a job that had me sitting in front of a computer all day. My wrists already don't work. You know, I'm beginning to see how you could probably just sit on the slot machine level and cheese it for infinite money if you got a good enough plant defense setup going. And just didn't collect any sun, didn't spin the machine. Actually, wait, doesn't sun auto-collect after a while, or am I misremembering that? I know there was one version where the minigames, you could cheese them by just sitting in the minigame earning money, and it was fucking funny as hell. Alright, I think I can honestly just probably sit here and wait for the money to come to me passively if I wanted to. A little too slow, actually. And, oh yeah, wait, I just realized fucking... Oh, that's a cone zombie. Oh, I shouldn't have spaced out so hard waiting for my sun to go up. I'm an absolute fucking moron. I'm probably gonna lose him too. That wasn't a great idea. No! Ah, no! Come on, kill him. Oh! Pea shooter, you son of a bitch. I also didn't know that either. I am learning all sorts of things about this fucking game today. I'm honestly surprised that this is the stream that I have had some of the most chat engagement on in the last couple of days. I did not realize that there were so many people on Twitch who knew about Plants vs. Zombies, and furthermore had opinions about Plants vs. Zombies. Hey, alright, metal. Alright, well that's the slot machine done. Zombotany, okay. I thought it said Zombatang, I'll be honest. Huh. Don't like this. Again, it's just one of those things, like Plants vs. Zombies in my mind is like just a little bit out of date. It's out of date in the same way like Half-Life 2 is in my mind at this point, even though they're definitely from two completely different eras.
The zombies are coming.
Ah. So that's what we're doing. Walnut zombies are literally the strongest zombies in the game between Gargantua and All-Stars. Fuck me. That's actually kind of silly. I can't risk saving up for a 3-shooter, I don't think. I don't like this. I don't like my plants taking passive damage from zombies. Yeah, I should. I'm just, my poor walnuts. I always feel so bad for them, even though it is what they are here for. Good to know. I was saving my squash for the walnut zombie when it showed up. Yeah. tense. This is actually tense. This is more tense than the base game in a way that I'm not sure how I feel about. Okay, that symmetry is bothering me there. Oh boy. Yep, there's the walnut zombies, alright. That's not gonna arm in time, damn it. Yeah, I'm hoping enough 3-peater spam will solve most of my problems here. Alright, that's enough out of you. Get out of here. Oh boy. Okay. Sweating a little bit about that walnut that got that deep. No, I think I might be good. Yeah, I think I might be good now that I have a decent number of the 3-peaters. We'll see. There we go. Yeah, spamming. Spamming works. I know it's a dangerous thing to say on Twitch chat, but sometimes spamming does in fact work. Feeling real bad for the front walnut there and his horrifying brain damage, poor guy. Hey, and finally, you know, neither do I. It sounds from your reaction that should have been a lot harder on me than it was. So I may have just gotten incredibly lucky. Oh, I mean, sure. That would require me paying more attention than I have in my brain right now, though, sadly. If I end up streaming more of this game, I'll probably end up doing all of the mini-games at some point or another. Whether or not I stream this game again is another question, because, I forgot how stressful this game legitimately gets when things start going bad. No, I'm really mad at myself for fucking getting that ricochet. I thought the ricochet was going to miss. I will say, Walnut Bowling has to be one of my favorite games just to listen to the noise of bowling pins falling over. It's part of the reason why I've been so quiet. I have literally just been listening to the bowling pin noises as they happen. Really upset with that one. Not a great use of an explosive nut. Really wish I hadn't wasted that one explosive nut earlier. It's always a bad day when you waste a good nut. I don't know if I can click fast enough to... Oh, hang on. Hey, the extreme luck, holy fuck. It's not gonna last, though. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm thinking about what this scene would smell like in real life specifically. Like, just all the dead dudes on my front lawn. It's a pretty bad smell. Also, yeah, if I was just yelling, it's always a bad day when you get a good nut in real life. When you get a good nut, it's never a bad day when you get a good nut. It's always a bad day when you miss a good nut in real life while I'm just throwing bowling balls at people and killing them. This game, it's fucking cheapskate behavior with the explosive balls is gonna doom me. Oh boy. Yep, oh fuck, yep. Yeah, I don't think I have the fucking APM to do this properly. My mouse twitches too much, because again, I'm using a gunky old optical mouse. So in fact, Walnut Bowling, you have defeated me for now. You know, there's nothing good about the phraseology that's been happening the last couple minutes of stream. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. I always appreciate it. And, come out next time for fucking... probably not more Plants vs. Zombies, but more something. We'll see. Later, everyone.